No one in this world can you trust. Not men, not women, not beasts. This you can trust.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Glory of Golden State Gaming. I'm your host SwampSwimmer, and with me as always, the Mandalorian to my Grogu, Vespasian.
Hey everybody, how you doing? That's a good one. Nice work.
I like that one. It was pretty good. Pretty good. Hey, so we just went through the whole Saurian Ancient book release process, and we were fortunate enough to get the book before it came out, and we got to look through it. And of course, when you get the book, you want to run through some lists and try it out. And this is just a quick reminder, a quick callback. You know, New Recruit is an awesome thing. And Flamey on Discord is the guy who runs it and is making it. And essentially, I was trying to make lists for myself when I had the Saurian Ancient book pre-release, and I'm like, wow, I forgot how much I depend on New Recruit and how awesome it is. So I just wanted to shout out to Flamey, shout out to New Recruit. Thank you so much. I contribute to them a little bit each year, and it's totally worth it because then you get all like the extra stuff in New Recruit. What is your experience with New Recruit?
You know, I love New Recruit. There's a couple of things. So one, did you ever use Quartermaster back in the day?
I did very briefly. I was more of a, what was the other one?
Army Builder.
I was more of an army builder guy. I used Battlescribe too, but
so
I
have the one thing I don't love about it is that it is web-based. So I love Quartermaster for like if you're on a plane flight and you wanted to futz with lists but you didn't have access to the internet. Like Quartermaster was not web-based, right? So it just stored everything, all the data on the phone. So that's the only thing that I wish New Recruit had. But in terms of responsiveness, like, you know, user interface, everything like that is great.
So
and I find it to be kind of like a sine curve, right? Like as I'm learning a new army, I like absolutely critical. It helps me from not making illegal lists, and then eventually I memorize the points of everything, and then I start to get to the point where I'm iterating lists without New Recruit.
So I don't know the specifics of it because I'm not a app developer, but the way they made the app, I downloaded a physical app to my phone for New Recruit, and when I'm on a plane, I can use New Recruit.
Mind blown? Really?
Yeah, I don't know how it works exactly.
Okay.
I didn't download it from the App Store, but I downloaded it when you go to the website. It gives you like an option to download the app to your smartphone. Yeah. So look into that. I don't know the specifics. Maybe we'll reach out to Flamey and get a little tutorial going, something like that. But
you may have just changed my life right there.
All right. Anyway, let's get to the battle report. We are in round 4 of Silicon Hammer 2022 in San Jose, California. I don't know. I forgot how many points you're sitting at, but I had 2 20s and then I had a loss. So I'm still sitting at 40 something. So I'm still in a good spot, and I get paired into our good friend, Micah, who's running his Dread Elves. Micah's a great player, so this is a little scary for me, and I think Dread Elves are a very hard matchup for the Beast Herds, but it's going to be a fun game, so I like playing against Micah. And quick shout out to Micah. It's been a while since I played this game, so I called him up like a day or two ago, and I'm like, Micah, let's reminisce about this game and remind me what happened, because I don't remember. And he got on the phone with me and talked with me for a few minutes about it, so he was very nice about that.
Nice. So, hey, that's a good jog of memory.
It was Dawn Assault's Secure Target. If you are interested in my list, please click the link right above my head. That'll take you to the round 1 video where we go into my list in a little more detail. But let's go ahead and look at Micah's list. He calls this his ladies' night list because all of his models are like females. It's a whole female army. He's got the Dread Prince General, Seal of the Republic, Shield Breaker, Mask of the War Crow, Crown of the Wizard King on foot. A Temple Exarch on Alchemy War Smith, Essence of Mithril, Blades, Cyanran's Scales, I don't know what that one does, and Potion of Strength.
That's the bound will turns.
Oh, okay. 24 Militants with Standard Bearer with Kadrin's Pendant. 22 Militants with Rending Banner. 18 Selexian Spears. 6 Warlock Acolytes with the Champion, so they got the Wizard Enclave. 6 Dread Knights. 10 times 2 Obsidian Guard, those are scary. 8 Harpies. 5 Shadow Riders. 5 Black Cloaks, a Kraken, and a Myth Leviathan. It's a pretty all-rounded list. Probably pretty low on shooting. Actually, now I think about it, it's really low on shooting.
Yeah, he basically just got the Shadow Riders and that's it.
And the Black Cloaks, but that's about it.
Oh, Black Cloaks, yeah. Yeah, I think that there has been a change to several things in here since this. So for example, I think the Miss Leviathan changed. So I'm guessing this is the one where it gets the 8-inch, the extra march. And I think now it's first turn hard target, which would not have been great against you. So there's been some changes. It's very magic light, right? So he's got Crown of the Wizard King, an Adept on Alchemy,
and the Warlocks, the
Warlocks and the Bound spell, right? So he does have 6 spells, but they're all he's got no casting bonuses. He's kind of it's pretty light, but relatively magic.
I agree.
I think the thing that's scary for you is just those militants. I don't know that you've got they're one of the units that can output the Wildhorn.
They are definitely the unit that can outblend the Wildhorn Herns, and they're going before me also. So it's just I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll see. We'll see. So deployment here, I'll go to mine first. Oh, this is, and also we have the special. This is the special deployment where 1 or 2 units get held back and get to come on they're ambushing automatically in round 2 on your board edge, which is interesting. So I've got my unit of Centaurs with my BSB on the left, a Giant, 1 Wildhorn Black because he sent the other Wildhorn block into ambush, with Gargoyles in front of them, and my Minotaur block with my Minotaur Warlord there. Gargoyles off to the far right with my Giant on the far right. And let's see here.
Surprised you didn't pick the Mino block.
Yeah, I think so too. But I think the Mino block is not big enough to go into any of his units because he's going to blend me before I swing. So I don't think he's that afraid of it.
Okay.
Let's see.
It's faster. Yes, the Wildhorns can, the Minotaurs could catch up faster.
Yeah, true. Let's see here. The Mist Leviathan is on the far left. By the way, an awesome model. It's not a great picture here, but a really cool model. He's got his Black Cloaks here in the front. He's got, I think these are the spears, then an Obsidian Guard block, then 1 unit of Militants with his General in it, I believe. Then these are the Warlocks, then the Harpies. Then these are the Dark Riders. No, these are the Knights. These are the Knights, and the Dark Riders are behind the Hydra there. Where do you have? You had a Kraken behind the Kraken. This is a Kraken here. So what did I choose? Was it random which units get stuck in traffic? I think it might have been random because I had 1 unit of Wildhorns and 1 unit of Centaurs to stay behind, and you had one of the big blocks and one of the.
It was Dawn Assault. So they could pick one, and you could pick one of your own. Some of your own. Like if you how Dawn Assault has that hold back and ambush.
Yeah.
The unit. I think that's right.
And then he also kept behind one of his small Obsidian Guard units. There's only one here on the board. The other one is off the board. I don't know where it is. It's actually right next to his other unit here, right there. But
Yeah.
so kind of squaring up in the middle of the board. I can't remember who got the first turn. I got the first turn, so it looks like I dropped everything to go first, and this is his response. So I felt pretty good. I feel like on the left, the super fast charging Centaur unit, it's got some good options here, or it could swing around and go into the center of the board, so I'm feeling all right. One thing that scares me on the right are his knights on the hill. No. The knights are in the back. I'm doing this completely wrong. Sorry, folks. The knights are in the back. These guys are the Dark Riders because they vanguarded up to this point.
Okay.
And then we chose the two tokens where one was here. And then I think I dropped this one first because I chose the sides, or he chose the sides. And then one's dropped way in this far back corner because of Dawn Assault.
Yeah.
So
And that's probably why you chose to ambush a scoring unit.
yes. Yes. Let's see here. On my for turn one, I just push forward. Nothing too spectacular here. I'm out of charge ranges everywhere. I'm just gonna wait for him to respond. And then in his turn, he comes up very cautiously. I was surprised he didn't push forward, which I thought he would do in the center here with the Minotaurs. Looks like he took one charge with his Dark Riders into my Gargoyles here and just fled. And that's it. It's a pretty slow beginning of the game here. So in my turn...
Yeah, ranges you.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
in quotation marks, you're right.
Yeah.
So now in my turn, my Wild Horns come on. And I think my Centaurs do not come on. I throw one giant off to the left because I feel like I can't guard this Mist Leviathan, which I don't like. And basically I chaff here because I didn't want this unit to go anywhere, and then I bring the giant into the center because basically I want these giants into his infantry size units right in the center.
Yeah. You remember how well that worked at March to War.
Damn, that's pretty brutal. Ouch. All right, in his turn, he throws his Kraken. Oh, I'm sorry. My Centaurs did come on. They came on the far right here, and these are exactly as you said. They're going for the scoring.
Yeah.
Actually, you can't see it in the picture, but it's my Centaurs are on the far right. Don't worry. And you also can't see in this picture, but on the far left, he brings on his Obsidian Guard. So he brings on his Obsidian Guard. My giant I move to the left. I move even farther to the left. He's off the picture also. He's out of the charge arc of the Obsidian Guard on the left. And again, we just kind of putz around in the center. No combats yet. I've kind of set up my line here.
Did he chap your giant with that Kraken? Is that what he did?
I think so, because he doesn't want the giant into the Dark Riders. Yeah.
Or, yeah, whatever.
So I think on the next turn is actually something starts happening in this game. Okay, so we're missing a few pictures here, but what happens, if I remember correctly, goodness, I even talked this out with Micah and I don't remember what's happening. Okay, so in the center here, both of those units, his Obsidian, I'm sorry, off to the left, his Obsidian Guard and his Mist Leviathan go for a charge on my Centaurs with my BSB here, and I decide to stand, and he doesn't make it to me, which is nice. Gosh, I'm having a hard time remembering this game, folks. This is a horrible battle report. Please, please forgive me. And he, with the Kraken, he goes for a charge into my Minotaurs, a long one. I don't think he had chaffed my Giant, but he could still sneak through if he wanted to. And I think I moved my Giant out of the way of him, and he goes for a long charge into the Minotaurs and doesn't make it, and ends up right in front of the Wildhorn block. Off to the right, he's zoning me and I'm zoning him off the right. He doesn't want my Centaurs to get off to the token in the center here. So I decide I'm not gonna push. I'm just gonna stay there and like have him keep his Knights off on the far right. Let's see here. So here's what I decide to do. I decide to charge the Mist Leviathan with my Centaurs. He flees with the Mist Leviathan, which allows me to charge my Giant into his Obsidian Guard. And I was thinking, the Giants into the Obsidian Guard is going to hurt me like hell, but I'm going to wipe him. Because he's got, what, 15 attacks, hitting on 2s, wounding on 4s. Is that right? Does that math work out?
So he's got four in the front, times 2 with the champ probably. So I think it's he's 15 wide. He's 5 wide, so he's 15 attacks, or at least 16 attacks. Your Giant's only 50.
Oh,
right?
You're right.
4 models, 9 plus 4, 13.
13 attacks.
Should do like
6.
It's on the bubble. 6.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So I go for the Gambit. And on the right, since the Kraken's right in front of me, I take the charge with my Wildhorns here, and the Giant goes up and chaps his other militant unit there, just in case I get stuck fighting this Kraken here, and I don't want to be flanked by them. And let's see what happens. Oh, and the magic phase, he knows this combat with my Wildhorns against the Kraken. He knows all he needs to stop is boosted Spectral Blades, and I get boosted Spectral Blades through. I throw, I think, 5 dice at it, and that's exactly what I needed. Because of that, I crush the Kraken. On the left, some craziness happens. My Giant goes into the Obsidian Guard and dies. Just straight dies. Killer. And then in his turn, since he took no damage to that Giant charge, he reforms and charges my my Centaur block, which I think is fearless at this point. So I can't flee. They run in, do this much damage to my Centaur block, leaving 2 guys and my BSB alone, but then I swing back and kill him. I swing back and I win combat and overrun and then run him down.
Wow.
Which is crazy on itself. And then in my turn, I charge his Mist Leviathan and it panics off the board.
Wow. Okay.
Crazy.
Very swingy left flank, okay?
Yeah. On the right, after I kill the first of all, he takes my Giant chaff on the hill. Down here, I think he puts his riders. I think I charge his riders because they're right there. I don't know. I don't think I'm in combat with his riders here, his Dark Riders. He's chaffing. And I continue just to hold the guys on the right. Like, it's no point in really. I was thinking on the right, there's no point in me getting close.
If you charge, if you're the one that charges and you get Blackwing off, you go before the militants.
I think so, yeah. Because I'll be agility 7 on the charge.
He wants to charge you, not the opposite.
Yep. And he pushes up in the center to contest this flag. And the only thing that's really threatening him is my Minotaurs, so he chaffs the Minotaurs with the Harpies. And I realize right now I'm in a bad spot with my Minotaurs because they really can't do anything. And let's move on to the next picture. Oh my goodness, that's the end of the game. I think I was getting frustrated at this point in the game, so I think I forgot to take a bunch of pictures. But basically what happens here is I charge the harpies in the center, kill them obviously. I try to overrun into this block behind him, which is a long overrun, and I don't make it there. Then he charges me with both of the militant blocks. So one in the front of my Minotaurs and one on the side. And of course the Minotaurs get crushed because of that. And then he decides to overrun, and I needed him to previously before this Wildhorn block that was into the chaff. I turned to face this kind of the center of the board because I realized they were going to crush my Minotaurs, and then I was going to countercharge with these Wildhorns. So with both of the units, he overruns towards my table edge, and he on both of the overruns he runs like he rolls a 10 or 11 or a 12 with both of them and overruns out of both of my arcs.
Whoa. Okay.
So it's absolutely crazy. After that
What turn is this?
This is turn 5.
So that's put him in a weird position on the objective there. Okay, interesting.
So what he does is he gets traffic jammed in the center here, so I can't charge him, but also both of his units can't charge me because the one that's in front is too far forward and it can't charge any of the units. And then the unit behind, the second overrunning militant unit, is chaffed by his own unit. So the only thing he can do is charge his character out of the center unit into the flank of this Wildhorn unit, and then move up with his scoring units on the left here to take the objective.
Okay.
And what he was trying to do was because my wizard was on the edge here of the unit, so he was trying to kill the wizard, but that was the shamanism wizard, and he had happened to get a shamanism spell off, so he wasn't able to roll enough 5+s to wound him.
Nice.
On the right, what I was planning here, tell me if you think this was the right choice. I knew this was basically a standoff on the right to get to the objective. What I did was I just waited until turn 6 and charged a long charge, like I needed like 11 or a 12 on dice, because if I make it into him and I kill him, and I'll get this, and I'll get to be next to the token. So it's just like it's a win-win if I make it, and if I don't, I save both the points.
Right.
That was my thought process. I charged on the top of 6. I didn't make it. He charged me, didn't make it either. Nothing happened on the right.
But did he win it?
When it comes down to it, he got actually both tokens, because he pinned this unit, got the center token, and got the far right one. And when looking at the points, he got a bunch of points out of me, but I got a bunch of points out of him too. And it ended up being a tied on points, but he got the secondary.
He got the secondary. Interesting.
It was a really fun game.
I mean, I think that's a pretty good outcome, given the matchup, honestly.
I agree. I was really frustrated when he made that double long overrun, because then if he hadn't, I would have just like sandwiched him in the center and gotten both of his units. And I think it would have turned into a win for me, but he rolled really high. And I got really lucky on getting Spectral Blades off and blowing through his Hydra really quickly. Or his Kraken. God, it's Kraken.
Why wouldn't he have restrained and based your units and then just like blended them when you charged?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Yeah.
I think it was because he didn't actually kill all the Minotaurs. He wanted to run down. I think he blended the unit of Minotaurs, and the Minotaur Warlord fled, and he decided he wanted the general.
Yeah, it's hard to tell because we don't have a picture of the positioning, but that seems like a risky play on his part, because I agree with you. You take the Wildhorns into the flank. It's that first turn, like I think you do so much damage without the counter damage that I think that fight becomes a foregone conclusion if you can do that. But yeah, it's a tough one. What did the BSB and the two centaurs over on the left ever end up doing? Just wondering.
I'm trying to remember what they did. I think they might have gotten I think I realized they were so weak and they didn't have a target at this point, so I basically moved them off like to hide behind the building. I'm pretty sure. Because any of those, I can't go into any of those units.
But couldn't you? Well, I guess if he's winning his left, your right objective, I guess you don't really have a counterplay here. But in the scenario that his 2 militants have overrun like way towards your table edge and can't recover, couldn't you just have put the 2 Wildhorn bricks and the remaining centaurs up and won that center objective? Because he's got 1 obsidian guard, 1 spear unit.
Yeah, we could have tied it, I guess. I think also that the centaurs on the left are not scoring anymore because they started out sober. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's tough. I mean, I think your play on the right, that's one of the justifying reasons for going second in a mission like this, right? Is to be able to.
That's a good point.
Hold the ground.
Yeah.
Is to be able to go unobstructed, because then your counterplay on the right would have been just wait until the bottom of 6 and then march into the objective, right? Or he'd have to put himself in a place where you could charge him to prevent that, right? So it's
yeah.
So he had a better counterplay in this case because he was going second on the right hand side. But yeah, it's tough. I mean, I just think those militants are such a bad matchup for your style of play.
Yeah.
You just don't really have a great, unless you can get like a weird corner clip in with like 2 giants and try to just like stomp and smash the crap out of them. I don't know. It's a tough one. You just don't have great answers for it.
I agree. Well, again, the results is I can't complain with the results. Like getting 7 out of this matchup is not bad. But yeah, I'm sitting on something like 40, slightly over 40 points, which is average for me. And we'll see where I end up next. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.